and it's great to have James Chicken Scratch Johnson here in the Senate chamber, because part of what we do with the Blues Festival is honor the people that carry the deep culture, the deep tradition. That's what makes Louisiana great, in my opinion. So we're glad to have him here. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. I'm pretty proud to be here, you know. Been here 76 years, first time I've been in this part of the old state capital.
Yeah.
You know, so that means a lot to me.
Well, yesterday was your birthday.
Yeah, yesterday was my birthday.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so.
Well, you've been somebody that is known on the Baton Rouge scene for many years in different ways, and we talked a little bit last night. I produce American Roots, and some of you may listen to it here on RKF in Baton Rouge on Saturday nights. But we talked to him a little last night for the radio show, and we thought we'd have a little bit of life history and demonstrate some guitar licks, if you're okay with that, James.
Yeah, well, my main idol was Albert Collins. You know, that's what made me want to play guitar.
Right, and where did you hear Albert Collins?
In Urbanville.
Which is?
That's about 10, 12, 13 miles from here, west of here.
Across the river?
Across the river. At the elementary school in Urbanville. We had a principal, Mr. Curry. He got in touch with Albert and got him to come there. Well, I didn't know nothing about music, less known Albert, you know. But that night when I heard him play, I made up my mind, I will try to play a guitar from then on.
You know, so many people that play blues, they talk about maybe starting in church, or they went to a juke joint and heard something. Maybe they listened to it on the radio. But the idea that Albert Collins would come to an elementary school is kind of amazing. How did the principal know to get him to the school?
I don't know how he got him there. I don't know nothing about it. All I know is I went there that night and he was there.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to play like him, you know. And he got some licks that he little different from the other guitar players.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you still play any of his licks?
And he used a choke on his guitar. He don't play straight out like we do. If he go to C, he got a choke sitting right there. If you go to G, he got a choke sitting.
You mean like a capo?
Yeah, he playing, in other words, he playing just like you play open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, open guitar with just E natural.
Right.
Well, when he do that, any way he move, he can still do the same thing.
Still got a chord he can go
to. So he had a special technique that it's hard to imitate him because he had it a little different, you know? Like he said, you know, he uses big strings a little more than most guitar. Most guitar player play the little strings and chord. But Albert would play, he used the big strings, you know, and he used them a lot. So it make it a little different from the other guitar. You know, so I kind of got most of his lick, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, not every child or young person who hears music decides to play music, and not everybody that decides to play music decides to go out and play it in public. So maybe you could tell us a little bit how you got from Albert Collins to playing the music and then out in public, because I know at a certain point you went out on the road and you decided to be a pro.
It took quite a while, because I was like 12, 15 years old when I saw him. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I guess around 18, 19, first band I played with.
Tell us about that one.
That was Alvin Woodfall. He wasn't no great player, but I wasn't either, so I was glad to be out there with him, you know. And
was that in Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd come to town.
He was from Mangren, Louisiana, but
Mangren?
Yeah.
Robert P. Williams' home. You know Robert P. Williams? Robert Pete Williams. Did you ever know him?
I don't think
he's
so.
from Mangren. Yeah, he's a well-known bluesman from.
I
think he's better known outside Louisiana than in.
Yeah, probably, because you know, I'm gonna tell you somebody that I've never saw in person. Dead and gone now. Places slaves. I never saw him in person.
And he played on the West Bank at Mulatto Bend Club and all those places.
He
Long
played
time.
he played Louisiana all together.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
from
yeah.
Louisiana. you
Right,
know.
yeah.
And I never got a chance to meet him in
I
person.
think we got him at the Spanish Town Mardi Gras, I think, one year.
Yeah, okay. So as a lot of musicians, I didn't get to, to really meet. I know of them.
Yeah. But tell us about that band you were playing with. What kind of clubs did you play? Where were the joints?
Just
and-
regular little ballroom, man. That's all they had back then. A little ballroom, club, whatever you call them. But that's what was happening then. So I played a lot of these little clubs, and that was the only place you could play music, because a lot of the people was religious. They didn't want you to really play no blues anyway, so you had to go to the barroom to do it,
Speaking of
like
barrooms,
Teddy's Juke Joint.
here's a man who maintains a club up on Highway 61 up towards Zachary. It's
Yeah.
Teddy of Teddy's Juke Joint. Welcome, Teddy.
That's my
Welcome to
partner.
the Senate chamber, Teddy. I'm casting my vote for you this season. Yeah.
That's the Juke Joint.
Yeah.
Oh,
So did you ever go up to Teddy's place?
oh yeah, man. Me and Teddy been partners a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hired me when he feel like it.
Yeah.
And I enjoy playing up there because you get a good sound at that place.
Yeah. It looks
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah,
It's got a well decorated.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you got? The back of that T-bird up there on your mixing spot, Teddy? That old T-bird? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. If you have not been to Teddy's Juke Joint, go there, right, Teddy? Just go there. There's a website too, so you can find out what's happening.
Yeah,
Who that? Okay.
yeah. Sam, he talked with him the other day. Told
See?
me he was glad to be off 2 days, even working regular
Is that right?
down in New Orleans.
So
Yeah.
back on your life in Baton Rouge, you had a chance. You were working. You had a day job, and you had a chance to go on the road. Tell us about your touring.
Well, I was working at Coleman Automobile, and Slim told me, he said, "Look, man, I got a tour coming up, and I want you on the tour with me." I said, "Well, Slim, I got a job, man." I said, "I can't just leave." He said, "Well, I tell
This
you
is
what."
Guitar Slim.
Huh?
Guitar Slim?
No, Slim Harpo.
Oh, it was Slim Harpo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he told me, "I'm gonna pay you $150 a night." And we got about a month and a half out there on the road. So the figures started adding up in my head right then. I said, yeah, I can't make that much on this job. So I quit my job, bought clothes, hit the road with Slim.
And your wife was okay with this?
No, she didn't come with me. She religious. She don't like no blues, But anyway, Denham Spring is about 10 miles from Baton Rouge. When we got in Denham Spring, he told me, he said, "Well, look, man, I told you 150, but I ain't gonna be able to pay that 150. 100 is about the best we can do." Well, I done quit my job. I'm going, so I settled for the 100. So we got to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He went in and talked with the man. He come out, he said, "Jan, I hate to tell you this," he said, "but they ain't paying what they said they was gonna pay, so I can't give you but $50 a night." I said, "Man," I said, "that's a long way from 150, Slim." He said, "Yeah, I know, but that's the best I got to do." Okay. So I'm out here now, ain't no sense me running, or getting mad or anything. Okay. So we did about three weeks around there in Florida, different clubs, and that's what I was getting paid, $50.
Was this what they call the Chitlin circuit? Was this a Chitlin circuit? Like mostly black rhythm and blues, soul clubs?
Yeah. Most of I got a chance to play on James Brown's show in Madison Square Garden.
Nice.
That was the trip of my life, man. I was afraid to go up there behind, with knowing James Brown, And the business part, it was just Slim and I and an orchestra, a 12-piece orchestra, playing the blues. So we went on and had rehearsal and, and we did okay.
I'm sure you did.
That's because he had scratched my back out and it was hot then. So,
Right.
man, that pulled us through,
You got a hit behind you. It helps everyone pay attention.
so that's what pulled us through, But other than that, I don't know how we would have made it, man.
Well, let's talk about more about the Slim Harpo music you played. You were on "Raining in My Heart," recorded in 1960.
Yeah, I played bass on it.
You played bass.
Yeah.
And who was the guitar player with you on that?
Rudy Richard.
Rudy Richard.
Yeah.
And he was French speaking.
Yeah, he was French.
Did you speak any French? No.
No, I don't speak it.
But he spoke a little.
I don't speak real good, but I don't speak no French.
Yeah. So anyway, what was the session like for "Raining in My Heart"? I mean, that's kind of, there's a film playing in the other chamber called "Raining in My Heart." It's sort of the old, really signature sound song of Baton Rouge.
Well, believe it or not, I played bass on that with a bass guitar. I didn't have a bass guitar.
You played
I had
the bass part on it,
I had
regular
a Strat,
six-string.
and I would set it on bass, and that's what I was using to play bass. But when we got to Miller, I got a bass. And that's when I started playing a real bass on, all the time I was with Slim, I was playing a Strat.
Is that right?
Yeah. Well, we was doing a lot of Jimmy Reed stuff, which, is easy. It's easy to do that. When you get down to making other notes, I still did it, but it wasn't the same as a real bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What your nickname or middle name is Chicken Scratch. Can you tell us about getting that name and the sound that goes with it?
I thank God gave me that name.
I think he's too young to have given you that name.
I thank God came up with that one.
Are you laying claim to it?
That's part of my.
It sounds like the kind of names that J.D. Miller was giving people down.
Yeah, he was
Crowley.
giving people names too, but he didn't get
call
to
you
name
Chicken
me because
Scratch.
I wasn't a celebrity. I wasn't no
Right.
star, so he didn't get to name me.
I mean, we had Lonesome Sundown. and
Lonesome
of course,
Sundown,
well, Slim.
Lightning Slim.
Yeah.
Slim Harpo, his name was
Le-
James Moore. Lazy Lester.
Lazy Lester, yeah, right, all that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he named them.
So Chicken Scratch, where does Chicken Scratch come from?
Well, this is something I created myself. This is something I was fooling with, And we had rehearsal one night. So I was doing this, and Slim got to talking on it, He said, man, I'm going to do something with that. I said, yeah, okay, we can do something with it. So he wrote Scratch My Back, and it fit in with what we were doing, So we started playing it in the club, man, and the people loved it. And so he decided he's going to put it on record.
So he tested it in the clubs.
Yeah, he tested it.
And records it in '68, and he becomes a huge national hit. Can you give us the chicken licks, the chicken picking scratch?
The chicken scratch or Scratch My Back?
Chicken Scratch. That sounds like a chicken.
Yeah, well, I don't know, just something I was fooling with, and he got to talking on it, and well, that's all he do in the song is mostly talk, I call him the first rap man.
Baby Scratch My Back is rap.
Before he would start rapping, Yeah.
Oh, I think rap goes way, way back, actually. But I like that idea of it being a sort of a rap love song.
Yeah.
It's kind of a rap love song.
Yeah.
With a little chicken
nice.
scratching in it.
Yeah, little chicken scratch. So, and from then on, I stayed with him until he passed.
And when did he pass?
1970.
Yeah.
And I hung my guitar up after that.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I quit playing
You did?
for about 12, 14
I
years.
mean, you missed playing with him, or you were sad? What was why did you stop?
Well, it just, the funk music came out. and the disco and all this kind of stuff was out. And I wasn't that kind of player, so I kind of got out of it, you know. I learned a lot of it, but that wasn't my bag, you know. I played blues.
Yeah.
So I didn't play no more blues really until Rayful came along.
Rayful Neal.
Rayful Neal.
Well, in that 12 years, I mean, what were you doing? Did you have other
I went to
jobs?
work. I went back to work, yeah.
Would you go
I was
back to
working at
Coleman
LS
Oldsmobile,
I was
or?
working at, no, I was working at LSU. I was working at
LSU.
LSU. I was a mechanic at LSU.
Well, you have something in common with Buddy Guy. He was a repair cat over at LSU too,
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
he?
he worked at LSU too, if I'm not
All the
mistaken.
best bluesmen seem to have been at LSU and then left to play blues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I stayed there 26 years, man.
So you were playing some music and working some of the
Yeah,
time.
but I was playing and working. I didn't leave home again.
Yeah.
You know.
You didn't go out on the road anymore.
No, well,
no $150 jobs
I
that
did,
shrink
but
to
I,
50.
I had been there long enough to have sick leave. So with Rayful, I went to Paris, France, but I was gone for 2 weeks. But I took my sick leave and went. You know, I still
Yeah.
come back and had my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
wasn't
nice.
gonna do that again. You know, I would get burnt one time. I wasn't gonna get burnt again.
Well, so I mean, you go from one of the great harp players in Slim Harpo to Rayful Neal, another great harp player. What
Another
was it
great
like
harp
playing
player.
with Rayful?
Yeah, I like playing with him. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, Slim was a little hard on you, you know. It was all about that music with Slim. But Rayful, he keep you laughing all the time. He always had a joke to tell you or something, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I told him about a friend of mine out in Irvinville, the way they talk about their food, you know. They didn't call it food, they called it grub.
Yeah.
Mama, when we gonna get our grub? And I couldn't figure out what they're talking about, you know. So finally I figured out it was talking about food.
Yeah.
So I kind of told Rayful about that one day. And he laughed and laughed. And we was on the plane coming from France. And the stewardess was serving. And she got right to Rayful, and she ran out of food, and she went back. And this is what he told me. Hey, where my goddamn grub at?
Well, Rayful had to raise 10 kids, so I'm sure the question of grub was a big one around the household.
Yeah, man.
So you continued with Rayful, and what ended you
After he passed, I thought I'd try it on my own.
Yeah.
I had never done nothing. I was always playing for other people, making them sound good, and so I thought I'd try one for myself, you know. So I did, and here I am.
And here's an CD that's available if you'd like to pick one up after our little conversation here, too.
Yeah.
It's called James Johnson, Stingin' and Buzzin'.
Stinging and buzzing. That's a tribute to Slim Harpo.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. Well, now, you're at a point in life where, you know, you look back on these things, and last night you played the Be Nice concert, that little yard concert. You have so many fans in Baton Rouge. How does it feel? I mean, blues wasn't always respected in Baton Rouge. It seems like now it's come up in the world.
Well, it got more blues lovers in Baton Rouge than really people really think, you know.
Yeah.
I think most of them like blues.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like that before, but now, you know, it was mostly black, you know, with the blues. But now, everybody like the blues.
Yeah.
So, I enjoy when I do a gig and they enjoy it, you know.
Well,
I enjoy it.
You had a band last night. There was a lady playing keyboards, and you had a couple young guys in your rhythm section. So you got people coming up who support you in the band. I guess
Yeah,
they're going
right.
to be with you today, right out here on the stage.
Huh?
Yeah, they're going to be with you today. The same folks you had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got same ones.
Yeah, it's a nice sound. It sounds to me like R&B, classic soul you mix together, and
Mixed together, yeah.
beautiful mix. What you
Yeah, a
do.
little bit. Try to touch everybody's heart, you know.
To me, traveling around the country working with music, the sort of soul R&B of Louisiana is just still sweet and great. It's not it's
right.
not a retro thing. This is the continuous music that you've been making.
10 years, right.
It's fabulous to hear it.
But
But did you ever imagine when you first heard Albert Collins in your school in Irwinville that you'd be playing blues, not just in a club, but out in public at a big blues festival?
Well, I didn't think I would ever make it, really. But I guess I was in the right place at the right time, stuff like that,
Yeah.
That make a lot of difference in your life,
Now how over the years playing blues, like, how did your family feel about you playing blues?
Believe it or not, I'm the only one in the family that play music.
Right?
And I got one brother living now. He's older than I. And he like it.
Right.
But my sisters, I don't think, I gave them a CD. I don't think they really listen at it.
And how did your mother take it when she found out you were out playing blues at the Jukes?
Well, she died in 1969.
Uh-huh.
I was playing then, but I wasn't out there real bad. I tell you what, when I was 18, 19, I went to Chicago with Slim, Lightning Slim, Lonesome Sundown, Lazy Lester, Carol Fran. We all went to Chicago at the Regal Theater. And it was only a one-night thing, but she didn't want me to go.
Your mama?
No, she didn't want me to go. Oh, you don't need to go out there with them people. You don't know them people. I said,
She's just trying to take care of you, James.
no. And what I told her, no, I said, you don't know them people. I know them. So she couldn't stop me, so I went,
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. That was the place, real big gig I had ever been on.
That's amazing. What a lineup that is. Gee.
I peeped from behind the curtain. I saw them people out there, and my knees got weak. I said, "Oh Lord, look what." But I made it. I still.
When we were talking last night, you mentioned that some of the preachers didn't approve. Some of the preacher men, the reverends and churchmen, didn't always approve of the blues.
Well, I don't want to call no name.
I'm not asking you to.
But I gave him one of my CDs and he took it. So evidently he must listen to Little Blues too.
Didn't give you any feedback on
No,
it.
he didn't give. And he didn't tell me he didn't want it. He eased it in his pocket and went on. So
Well, over the years, in addition to covering songs you like, you've also made a bunch of songs. Maybe before we go, we just have another minute or two. Could you tell us about some of the songs that you wrote over the years that come out of your experience?
Well, it's just stuff I've been having on my mind, and I wanted to do it, but I had never had the choice, a chance to do it. So when I did get a chance, I just started writing more. Okay. The first thing I had to do was try to play the guitar a little different from anybody else, so I have my own pattern. I didn't want to sound like B.B. King or Albert King. I wanted to sound like James. So it took a lot to change that, because that's all I've been playing is their music.
Because you were covering.
Yeah. And, I wanted to make mine sound a little different, so I had to come up with some new licks and everything else. It was kind of rough. So now I think I got it.
Yeah.
Well, I can sound like me,
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody got their own
So
sound.
what can you demo? What's your own sound? You got a couple licks you can show?
Well, I had
show us.
one. My daddy used to tell me, say, son, don't you break the golden rule. My daddy used to tell me, say, son, don't you break those golden rules. Don't break those rules. Don't break those rules. Keep your cool. Keep you cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He really told me that.
Yeah, did he?
It
Yeah.
stayed in my head. Thank you.
Have you ever broken the rule?
Huh?
Have you ever broken the rule?
No. on the end of the song, I tell you that.
Yeah.
I didn't break no. I wasn't no fool. I kept my cool.
Yeah.
Kept my cool.
You know, what's so great about this style to me is it really is right between blues. He's got the talking lines of the lead, but he's playing those great soul sort of block chords, and it's a great mix of sound. You developed a fabulous sound.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing it,
Yeah,
man.
thank you. Thank you, man.
And anything else you want to say? I know you've had some. You had one song you were telling about. I guess it's a little more about heartbreak and that sort of thing. Is there any other song you want to tell us about?
Well, I had one. I just want to live a little. And be careful about the thing I do. I just want to live a little and be careful about the things I do. I just want to live my life. You know, it's come to you. You know, you know, you put what you feel.
Right into the music.
Yeah, you know, so
nice.
It took like maybe 3 weeks for us to do this. We put the track down for it, and we come back and did the lyrics. And it wasn't real hard, you know.
Well, you have a lifetime of experience to draw on, and you've been playing music.
Yeah.
What would you like to have happen in the future for you? What do you look forward to?
Well,
Do you want to keep playing blues? I mean, is that going to go on?
Well, I don't know. I was telling God, man, I've been having a lot of leg problem, back problem. I had 2 operations, and so I told him this might be my last performance. I don't know, but
yeah. Last night I think
Like
I told
I
you
said,
ought to go to Coleman Oldsmobile and get some new shocks.
I can't.
Shocks and struts.
I can't get around like I used to, so I kind of take a lot
Who
of
can?
it. Huh?
Who can?
You're right. You're right.
Well,
But-
maybe you ought to write a song about, got pains in my joints.
Well,
Laughing to keep from crying. That's what they say.
yeah. A lot of times you laugh to keep them crying, and I've done it a many times. You know?
Yeah. That's a good solution.
I have a lot to cry about, you know.
Yeah, you feel that way?
Lost a lot of people, you know, and it ain't the same no more.
Yeah.
It ain't the same, you know. A lot of my friends that played music gone, and I mean, we was like a family, you know. And they gone, so that kind of leave me lonely, you know.
Right.
But a man got to do what a man got to do. Okay.
Well, James, we really appreciate you sharing some of your life and your music with us here. Let's give him a round of applause.
I
If you're
appreciate
interested
you
in a
having me.
CD. And he's going to be out there on the plaza in about a half hour or so with the band. They sound fantastic. I highly recommend it. Thanks so much for talking.
Thank
again.
you.
All right, man.
All right.
Good to see you.
Okay.